kind of dog do you have? It was almost like a flat coat.
Yeah, this is Anubis, our greyhound.
Oh, your greyhound. Okay.
Yeah. And then the lab is sleeping by the door, guarding the office.
What was Anubis the god of? The underworld?
Mm-hmm. And god of war, but
War.
it's the dog that had the point up ears.
No, it was gosh. I've lost my Egyptology.
How are you doing, Karen?
Hey, Robin.
Hey, Mr. President.
Hi, Mike. Karen.
How are you?
We got a new member.
Hey, Robin. Hi, Mike.
I have hijacked the meeting.
See you.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
And
Hello?
Santa Claus is here.
Karen, you have to share.
Good.
Whatever you're eating, you have to share.
We got you.
Oh, gum. You can have it.
River?
It's gum? No, I don't want your gum. Sorry, hon.
Okay, now it's fine.
I thought you wanted to share me.
Say again?
Coffee.
Have more coffee.
All right, I'll give it back to Julie. Anubis was the god of the afterlife.
Afterlife. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I knew what I was thinking. It was Horus.
Yes.
Horus. Horus. Yeah.
Yes. Jump on in.
Cool. Hey, you changing again, Mike?
Yeah. Well, I ran into a razor. You never know. I might run into it again. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be on the 4-day program going forward. I'm going to shave on Monday through Thursday and skip it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So then the only person in the world who gets upset about it will be Jocelyn. So.
Okay. Cool. Now, how are things up in the river, guys?
Oh, it was wonderful. With kayaking, made it back in time.
Wow. Yeah.
We'll be back in the morning if you want to join us.
Yeah.
Cool.
We got the Blue Angels flying up here this weekend. The place has been wild out at the beach. Wild.
Yeah.
I'd say the biggest weekend.
Well, that's their home port, right?
Pardon?
That's their home port. They're stationed there, the Blue
That's
Angel.
right. Yeah.
In Pensacola, yeah.
So we're a little bit early, so we feel a lot of guys seem to click in at the last minute kind of thing. You wonder they're going to show up at all, but then we get a showing, which is good. Yep.
Hopefully all the officers will.
Say again?
I hope all the officers will.
Yeah. Well, Jackie will not be here because she had cataract surgery about a month ago, and then she had rotator cuff shock.
Oh, man.
Her surgery done, and she fell the day before yesterday. I was talking to her, and she sounded like she'd been on the bottle. She was sounding so miserable and so bad. So I don't expect her to be here. Yeah. Hey, Julia. Are you coming in with James?
Here, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, I just figured out how to use the little boxes, and now you guys are using the big boxes, and I'm very confused. Now here's James. Hello, James.
Hello. Oh.
Turn off your sound. Freak.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like really a bad dream.
James doesn't computer well.
Sorry?
James doesn't computer well.
Oh, I thought he was like a whiz. That means you're the brains of the outfit.
No, he computers just fine, except when it's video.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos. So I'll figure it out.
Good. Okay, well, we're just waiting for the others. We're a little bit early. People should start showing up.
I logged on at 5:30 to make sure I didn't screw up. All right, James. Thank you for reminding me. I had my sunglasses on, or my sunglasses in the back of the room, but now
Put them up so I can actually see.
now like this. So there you go.
Oh, there it is.
So what else is happening? You guys got your air conditioning all fixed down there, Julia? Man, that is just miserable. And this heat, miserable.
Now it's set at 80 degrees and it's still freezing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the fact that the guys put their foot through the ceiling didn't help it when they were doing the job.
Oh my gosh.
It's sort of fixed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, what do you expect? One flaw, whatever.
Cool.
We'll still give Yvonne hell about it, though.
Yeah, it was Yvonne Faye's company. So we'll still give her hell.
Yeah. Good. So how are things going at your new slot, Jim?
Excuse me?
How are things going with your new job in Rotary?
I think you would have to ask Mike. How's my new job going, Mike?
Well, I see a lot of email going back and forth, and Stephanie lady, I guess yesterday sent you one about where you could pick up the music boxes for the folks that you're going to be distributing and some other stuff. So she's keeping me clued in, you're keeping me clued in. As long as the two of you are talking to each other, I'm good with it.
I just got her email a few minutes ago. I will work on that when I get back from the river.
It's a volunteer job, Jim. That's the way it ought to be. You remember my 5-finger thing, right?
No, I don't really.
Okay, it goes like this: God, your family, your profession, Rotary, and everything else. Now, for you guys, it might be the river is your pinky finger, and everything else is your other hand, because that's the way it is for sailing.
Something like that. Yes, sir. I'll do that.
Good. We have a number of people in the E-Club who are involved in district affairs. Lynn Faimali is our literacy chair.
That's right, yeah.
And and just like with James and Julia, I live like 3 miles from their house, and yet we're using a satellite to talk to each other right now. So
Are you guys that close? Yeah. Wow.
yeah, they live about a mile and a half, or James and Julia are about a mile and a half south of me, and Lynn lives out on the causeway at the end of James and Julia's street.
Cool.
Yep.
Now, I did hear from Ray Cornelius, our treasurer, and he is involved in arbitration. He's a lawyer. He's retired, but he gets involved in a lot of arbitration. And he has been on call for doing some work in Puerto Rico because the state was going under. They were going to be closed under bonds, and he was kind of in the middle of that. And there was a question that he wouldn't be here, but when I talked to him during the week, he said, "Yeah, it should be okay." So Peter Vaca, I know, has grandkids in from town, but I would expect him to be on. As I said earlier, we won't see Jackie Berger because she had rotator cuff surgery about a week or so ago, and she fell the other day, so she's kind of indisposed. Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see who shows. So what else is happening? What else is good? All's quiet.
What's happening with who? James is just not realizing what he's doing over here. I told you, video and him is just like.
I'm trying to see if I get my loud mic working.
Yeah.
Sorry, honey.
That's all right.
Coming right up on 5 o'clock. Okay, here's Suzanne Nielsen. Hi, Susan. Hi, Susan. Can you hear us?
Not yet.
Stop your video.
Oh, hello.
See the left bottom?
Mhm.
Stop video. Do that and go out of the room.
Here we are.
Hi, Susan. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
You can. Cool.
There is a little button on the left if somebody can't hear you. You know that. And it also says join by audio. You can click on that.
Yeah. Cool. I couldn't hear you initially there, so.
No, and as I said, I had to do that. I have to do the double take. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, Mike.
Hello.
Cool. So it's just us 5 so far.
It's just 6 o'clock. Come on.
Yeah. Well, we give them another few minutes. Let's see what happens.
So what time is it in Germany? Like 11?
Pardon?
What time is it in Germany? Like 11 o'clock?
+6.
Oh, so it's midnight.
Yep.
Okay, so our friends that are in Germany that are in the E-Club, it'll be like midnight.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, we also have an Australian member.
So it's tomorrow sometime there.
Yeah, she has a hard time with afternoon meetings, and I can't remember exactly how it is.
It's about 4 o'clock tomorrow morning over there.
Is it already? Yeah.
4 o'clock.
Tomorrow morning.
That's not even a civilized hour.
Yeah.
Well, I went to bed at 4 a.m. today, so
Yeah.
you get going on a project and you don't want to just stop.
No, I've had that happen a couple of times in the last week where I've either been working until that late or getting up that early to work on stuff. This work-life Rotary balance, there's a lot of plates spinning.
Well, I'm working with I'm working with a German university right now on getting my thesis published, and they say to me, call us between 9 and 12 our time.
All right.
So you go back 6 hours, that's 3 to 6 a.m. So we have to, are you still going to stay up or are you going to go or get up early?
Hi, Ray. How are you doing?
Hi, everybody.
Good. Ray Cornelius, our treasurer. Mike Chapman, district governor. Karen Van Sickle, our assistant governor. And Jim Tremmel, one of our new members.
Lynn is trying to log in.
Who?
Lynn?
Oh, Lynn Famali, yeah. Lynn.
Yeah, Lynn Famille, yeah.
Famali.
Trying to log in.
Hi, Molly.
That's not going to happen.
There's not a way that she can distract her.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's just like Foley, only completely different, Robin.
Yeah.
I have, who's
Hans from
Hans.
Germany.
Oh, it's midnight. Well,
Hans, welcome. Hans Kohr, past president of the E-Club from Germany. Hans, up on the top left of your screen is our district governor.
I've got 2 screens, Robin. I have to go back and forth between 4 that only show up, okay? I don't know if you get them all.
No, I got them all. So.
Yeah, my screen never does that, so I have to go
Everybody.
click on the island. Hello.
Hello, hi Robin. Hello, hi
Guten
hi
Abend,
Sandra.
Hans.
Hi, Hans. Can you hear us, Hans?
It's Andrew.
Yes,
Hans, welcome.
yes, now I hear you.
Good.
Pull your camera down a little bit, Hans, so we can see the rest of you. There you go.
Yeah,
He's dressed, so he's okay.
Who's calling in?
Andrew.
Hi, it's Andrew. Sorry, I can't get in on Zoom, so
That's okay.
I'm having internet trouble today. So here I am, at least on the line.
You look very good as a phone.
Thank you.
No hair combing necessary.
Thank you so much.
Well, we have your picture on the invitation, as you know.
Okay.
Good.
Can you, oh, he can't see us either, right? Yeah.
No.
I'm Suzanne, I'm sorry, yeah.
Hi, Suzanne.
We're missing Peter Baca.
Yes, our web guru is missing. Hans, it must be very late. It's midnight, no?
Yes, you are right. That is past midnight. It's 10 minutes after midnight here in Germany.
Yes, well, thank you for staying up.
Well, I think I am not well dressed on for such an important event.
Well, go get a tie.
By all means, don't get a tie. We were virtually in South Florida, Hans. You're fine.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, that's a lot of us today. That's very nice. That is a good turnout, I think.
Good meeting.
Yes, and I like the two of you. I like Karen with help me, Mr. Tremmel.
Yeah.
What's your first? I'm to Bill. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Julia. Hi.
Hi.
I think,
Mr. President, please ring the virtual bell.
I think we should. Can we start a meeting?
Yes.
Have we enough people to do what we need to do? We have.
I think so.
Okay. So we have Peter's bell. Peter Vaca gave us the bell from an old club. Okay, guys, we're in session.
Yay.
Awesome.
Please join me in the four-way test. First,
Is it the truth?
Say and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Cool. Okay, we have all introduced ourselves. We all know who's here, which is good. The next thing we had on the agenda was to do a projects update, and I just made a quick list to refresh our memories. Last year we spent we contributed about $5,600 to projects including Vocational Service Awards, $200, Toys for Tots, $200, Rotary Camp Florida got $900 from the Rotary Tree of Remembrance and another $1,100 from the E-Club to purchase a generator for their infirmary. We contributed to S4TL. We did 2 students at $300 each, 50% in each. Next year, we're going to do 1 scholarship in honor of our deceased member, Earl Halley. We have contributed $700 to Rotary Youth Exchange, and we contributed $2,000 to Hurricane Erica disaster relief in Dominica. And that came about by $1,200 collected from local clubs in the Pensacola area and $800 from the E-Club. And we did Belize Hope, another $250. So our club is doing reasonably well, and we met our goal for the foundation, about $3,500, I believe. Okay, in the past we have done shelter boxes for Nepal and for the Philippines. We've done a cleft pallet project. We've had a project going, Sewing to Serve, where volunteer seamstresses were putting together clothing for needy kids in Haiti and third world countries. And we raised those guys. And we contributed to some bus as well. Archie's bus, Susan. Was that a project down in Central America somewhere? Where they were trying to buy a bus, and we contributed $400 or $500. Anyway, that's E-Club Projects update. we have been looking at our bylaws and constitution, which were set many years ago. And Julia volunteered to take them on, and she immediately pressed James into service to put them together. And they have done a tremendous job, and we have them out there for comments. So hopefully we'll be up to date with that. And Julia has also brought in a proposed associate member program that we are examining. Now we have an address from the district governor, Mike Chapman. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, Robin, and thank you all for having me here today at your installation meeting. I don't know if what I would call what I'm going to share with you a formal address, but it's just a few comments about as you begin your Rotary year, some things to think about. I met with Peter by Zoom a few weeks ago, and I think perhaps he shared with you some of the comments that I made during that talk. So what I want to challenge you to do today is, if you look behind me, you'll see my red Converse All-Stars. I'm not wearing them because you can't see my feet, but President John Germ talked to all of the governors elect last October and told us that we are, in fact, Rotary's all-star team. Team meaning together, everyone achieves more. So many of the AGs, like Karen, have decided that they will also be wearing red Converse All-Stars, as I will be, to our official visits whenever we are meeting with our clubs. And I know that many of the club presidents, in fact, 100% of the club presidents in Citrus County all have a set of red Converse All-Stars. So here's my challenge to you. Buy a pair of Converse All-Stars. They cost $50-ish. They don't have to be red. Wear them where you shouldn't. Wear them if you work in a bank, wear them to work. If you're a lawyer, wear them to court. It's only a small contempt fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay. But when someone asks you, hey, Jim, what's up with the sneakers, you tell them exactly these words. Are you ready? I'm wearing these red sneakers, these red Converse All-Stars, because I'm a Rotarian. Let me tell you about my Rotary Club and see what happens. It'll be a great conversation, and I would guess that the E-Club will recruit a few more members in the coming Rotary year. The other thing you see in the background is, and it's hard to make it out, is an Atlanta Braves ball cap that's got a Rotary theme pin on the top of it. That's to symbolize what we're doing this coming June of 2017, for the district conference in Tampa and the Rotary International Convention in Hotlanta, GA. We're going to be meeting the 8th and 9th of June, which is a Thursday and Friday, at the Airport Marriott in Tampa, where we'll have our district conference. And by staying there, Rotarians will receive 4 free nights of parking when they leave, working on discount airline tickets to go from Tampa to Atlanta and back again. And so we'll celebrate the 4 days or 5 days of the international convention right after that. This is probably the closest that the convention will be in terms of distance from the Tampa Bay area or Pensacola in a long, long time. Now, Hans, I'm very sorry. It's not going to be close for you, but I'm told there is one coming in Germany in about 2 years. So we should all make a point of coming to your country for the international convention when they hold that. I'm looking forward to it as well. I've been to 2 other conventions, and they're just a marvelous experience. The other thing I wanted to mention to you is, I understand you normally have an annual meeting sometime in February. or March. I'm not sure exactly when.
Yeah, usually March, yeah.
March, okay. Well, I'd really very much like to attend that, and, well, I'd probably need a makeup, so that's a joke.
Yes, because you can visit us 24/7.
Plus, the DG doesn't get makeups anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess I'm scheduled about a month from now, about 4 weeks from now, to do my quote-unquote official visit with you all, and it'll be an official virtual visit. So AG Karen will be working with you, Robin, to make sure that the club checklist is completed. I'm not going to be doing a lot of bean counting. That's what the AGs are doing this year. They're checking to make sure that, for instance, your bylaws and constitution are up to date the way your club should have them, making sure that you have identified your signature fundraising, social, and Rotary Foundation projects in the coming year. So, and I have no worries about the status of the E-Club under your board and President Robin's guidance. That you guys are going to be fine with that. One of the things that we want to do, though, during the board meeting for the club, if we can, is kind of go around the virtual room and ask everyone to talk about one thing they really love about the E-Club. And then one thing that each person thinks that the E-Club can do to improve. And Karen and Julia, your secretary, right?
Yes.
Okay, y'all will be making notes. And from that, we're going to develop a needs-based to-do list for Robin and the board to try to carry out throughout the next year. And since you're so early in the year, we want to try to accomplish that by the end of the calendar year, if possible. And Robin will be checking up with you and briefing me in January on that. The other thing I wanted to mention to you all really has to do with the bylaws thing that, Robin, you mentioned, and Julia, you're working on, and James is tech assisting on. The Council on Legislation put out a whole bunch of required changes and a whole bunch of optional changes into your bylaws. I don't think it's fair to any club in our district, or in Rotary for that matter, for me to come swooping in a month and a half after the year starts and say, let me see all the changes you made to your bylaws. I just don't think that's practical. So what I'd like you to do is look at the changes that are required and try to complete them by Christmas time. And then by the end of this Rotary year, if your club has any material changes, sort of like the associate member process that Julia has proposed to you, if your club approves that, have that codified by the end of the Rotary year, and then Governor Perry will follow up with you all about that during his visits next year. But we kind of want to run these things through a common sense filter and not make folks feel like they're having to really kill themselves to make the appropriate changes. So I wanted to be as reasonable as I could with everybody, but especially with the clubs that I'm visiting in August, because y'all are first in the barrel. I think actually you're at the end of the second week of my official visit cycle. Are there any questions that you all have for me, or things that you'd like to talk about with Governor Mikey about stuff? Anything at all? Lynn has gone off the witness protection program, and she's laughing.
Did she get a lamp? Did you find a lamp? Lynn, there's just a lamp somewhere in your house?
Well, I'm sitting in front of my.
Oh, there you are.
So that was the issue. I have a lamp on. Are you telling me you don't see me?
No, on the little picture we don't. Now that you're talking, I can see your face, but Mike thought you were hooded, and that's what your photo looks like that I took of everybody. So you look very
before
dark.
you close the shades, it was just your shadow, and I was like, Lynn is being protected.
I sent her a
Her
text.
voice is being altered in some strange way. But so I will say that in terms of your club, I have a whole lot of faith in y'all. I'm just as proud as I can be. They changed the rules. They said, well, you don't have to be an E-Club anymore, but if you're an E-Club and you want to keep your name as the E-Club, you can do that. So it's not my club, it's your club. But if I were the Rotary E-Club of the Southeast United States and the Caribbean, or I don't know, some people say Caribbean, I say Caribbean, leave it that way.
We love that
name. Good name. It's a perfectly good club. It ain't broke, so don't try to fix it. Right? Are there any
Governor?
other thoughts that we ought to cover today before somebody did something to my screen?
Yes, all of a sudden we have a mountain here. Where did that come from?
I have no idea.
I don't know why my computer just did
I'm
that.
viewing Julia Holloman's screen.
Oh, here we are.
I
Okay.
know.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right.
Governor?
I've been called a rock before, but never.
Let's.
I was trying to make my screen share go halfway and halfway.
Yeah, you did.
Let's.
Is that your screen? Is that your
So
screen?
there's only one other thing I want to invite you all to do, and that is check your email, your P-mail on Mondays. District Administrator Brenda and District PRPI Chair Takoa are posting a revived thing for the governor on Monday mornings, and I'm calling it Mondays with Mikey. And it's just a few thoughts that I have about stuff. Doesn't really, it's not the newsletter article, it's none of that, it's stuff. Random thoughts that I think you all might be interested in hearing. And by the way, you might notice that the newsletter is no longer called the governor's newsletter. It's the district newsletter. The rules say the governor is supposed to communicate with the Rotarians in his or her district. It doesn't say that the governor is the publisher, owner, operator, and single shareholder of the newsletter process. And as you can see, my name is at the bottom. My picture is at the bottom of my entry page on that thing, because just like I said in my first newsletter article, I work for you. And what's important for you to know is that you just don't need a governor if you don't have great clubs. So keep being a great club, and I get to keep being a governor.
I have a question about the conference, Mike.
Yeah.
The conference, will it be with the Tampa district as well? The
No,
airport?
Tampa is going to do a cruise in March or April.
Okay.
Joyce Gunter and I are really good friends. We're very, very close. And she and her husband, PDG Gary Gunter, are coming to our conference before they go to Atlanta with all of us. So, I think they secretly really want to be 6950 people, but they still have to be 6890. And I'm planning to go on their cruise as well. But you might love rum.
Okay, let's get back on track. Mike, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 directors for induction at this stage.
Okay, Robin, can I assume that one of those pins you're wearing is a president's pin?
Sorry?
Can I assume that one of the pins that you're wearing is your president's pin?
One of the pin? No, it's not my president's pin.
Okay, well, we're going to pretend it's your president's.
Lucky Charm pin, Mike.
Okay, well, let's use that for your president's pin. Fair enough. And as my friends always told me, a shamrock's better than a shillelagh.
Okay.
So I need to administer, before I administer the oath to the board members, I need to administer the oath to incoming or returning President Robin.
Yeah.
Robin, you've been selected by the members of this Rotary Club to guide its affairs during the coming year. You've been entrusted with an important responsibility that will help shape your club's future. Incoming President Robin Foley, you have been elected to the office of President of the Rotary E-Club of the Southeast United States and Caribbean by its members. It is an expression of their confidence in your leadership. I'd like you to repeat after me, Robin, and you may raise your right hand if you'd like to. I, Robin Foley.
Yeah, I, Robin Foley, yeah.
Thank you. Do solemnly promise.
Do solemnly promise.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of the President of the Rotary Club, the Rotary E-Club of the Southeast United States and the Caribbean.
The office of the President of the Rotary E-Club of Southeast USA and the Caribbean.
And that I will, to the best of my ability.
And I will, to the best of my ability.
Give support and assistance.
Give support and assistance.
To the District Governor.
To the District Governor. Mike Chapman.
And to Rotary International. and to Rotary International,
and Rotary International.
and that I will uphold the Constitution and bylaws of my club.
I will uphold the Constitution and bylaws of my club.
Very good. Mr. President, you may now pin yourself with your shamrock
Ouch.
as a symbol of your presidency in the Rotary
It's
Club.
done.
Rotary E-Club. To the incoming officers and directors, if you're an officer and director, please raise your hand so I can see it. Okay, 3 of you. Gotcha. Okay. James, put your hand down. You've got your own club.
Actually, our phone caller is also, no, is he?
No.
No, sorry.
here.
Chair.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. You have all been entrusted to the important positions of the administration of the Rotary E-Club of the Southeastern U.S. and Caribbean. This is an indication of your fellow Rotarians' esteem and confidence in you. They also believe you will uphold the high traditions of your club and that you will give the best of your executive ability to the furtherance of the interest in your club and of the carrying forward of the object of Rotary. And when I finish asking you this question, I ask you to answer, I will, if you will carry out these responsibilities. Will you fulfill the responsibilities of your office to the best of your ability and in accordance with the Constitution and bylaws of this club?
I will.
I will.
I will.
I hereby declare the new officers, directors, and president of the Rotary E-Club of the Southeast USA and Caribbean duly installed, and I turn the meeting over to President Robin. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you.
Very much, Mike. We really appreciate you taking the time out to be here.
I'm always here for you guys.
For a first for the E-Club, and we hope it'll continue. It's a great way to get this done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good. Induction, new members. The Vocational Service Awards. Lynn, we participate in Vocational Service Awards, and Lynn has proposed for one this year so far, and
For last year, this is
had proposed 2 last year, and that's a program that we like to support because it shines a light on people in everyday situations that they would not necessarily or otherwise have shone on them, and it's up to all of the members to nominate suitable, deserving people for their above and beyond effort in helping humanity, pure and simple. Alumni recognition. We have a number of alumni members, and Susan will do the honors.
Well, unfortunately, they're not all here, and Lynn has received hers in the pinning ceremony we did last year. But we still have 3 pins to give to members because this is a very alumni-heavy club. We have Daphne and Kelly Weatherby, who are both who haven't received the new pin. The interesting thing about the new pin is that it says Rotary Alumni. It no longer says Rotary Foundation Alumni. So with the expanded program, the alumni have no longer the affiliation directly and only with the foundation. So the new shiny pins are, people can buy them themselves or they can get them from the district. And we hope that clubs and you, Mike, as a district governor, will make some kind of ceremony for the new people because all our Rotary Youth Exchange students are coming back in August. And when they do, they don't have a meeting this year like last year, but they are the ones that the clubs can invite and do this for. So we're giving one to Carla, one to Kelly. Carla's in Australia. She's a 2-time alumna. She is a Rotary Peace Scholar as well. And there's a great program about peace scholarships in our club in October. So we'll send that to you, and maybe you can invite everybody in the district to see what peace scholarships are all about, because it's an online program about alumni.
Thanks, Susan. Then sponsors, we recognize Liz Fields for sponsoring 2 members. That's Liz Fields of Rotary's Camp, Florida, who the club awarded a Paul Harris Fellowship to earlier in the year for her above and beyond work on behalf of Rotary, because the woman eats, sleeps, and drinks it. And we also have Bob Loring, who sponsored a member this year as well. And of course, I wanted to recognize somebody that has been the bane of my life, but has been an incredible help during the year. And that is none other than the lady, Susan Nielsen. And I want to give her one of these Rotary beads, which you add to her necklace, and it will be in the mail to you in
Thank you.
appreciation of what you have done. You have whipped me, you have hurt me, you have done everything, but I'm still coming up with some little thing for you. Okay, and one other award we would like to give this year, and we have a plaque on the way, and that is for Rotarian of the Year. And the man is not here, but he's responsible for this because he got us on Zoom. He goaded me into doing these weekly president videos that I've been putting up, and he's tutored me on how to do it and not to make a dog's dinner of the whole thing. So we will be having a plaque for Peter Baca for a well-deserved award. Okay, that's all the formal stuff that I have. Lynn, I have reached out to a contact in Dominica to get information on those schools for handicapped kids.
All right.
In addition to your project, because there is an Alpha House down there, and I've also asked them if the Peace Corps are still working down there, and if they are, to get in contact. Good. Has anybody got anything else of import just now?
I would like you to,
Yes,
does Mike know about the Rotary bead and what it's for?
I carry a Rotary bead on my keychain.
Okay, so
I have that bead.
yeah, but maybe for new members that it's I think a $50 purchase for the for polio. It's a project that
Profits go to polio. It's a bead made by the Rotary Club of Dingle in County Kerry in Ireland, and we have placed about over 100, nearly 150 of these beads in the States on their behalf. So they're quite appreciative. I'll go back to Dingle in September. I won't say I'm competing, but I will be participating in a marathon over there on the 3rd of September, and then meet on the Monday. So we'll have a session with the boys. Yes, Lynn?
So Robin, I'm assuming that my nominee for a vocational award was approved by the board?
yes, yes, yes.
And so can you just tell me when that plaque might arrive? I was wondering if at the same time that I make my son a Paul Harris Fellow, which I'm hoping to do at the DG's Home Club, which is my club away from home, if possible, if it might be possible to award the vocational award at that time with that president permission.
When were you doing that, Lynn?
When we get the things in the mail.
Right, we've
Yeah.
given everything to RI.
Well, I don't think Robin's ordered it yet, so I think we were waiting for one or two more people to order together. But so
Yeah,
if
I will come back to you on that, Lynn.
Okay, thank you.
Lynn, regarding the Paul Harris Fellowship, feel free to reach out directly to Alan Manello, and I can't imagine he won't really enjoy having you come and us make your son a PHF. You know, as all of you should know, Lynn has been a friend of the Rotary Club of Dunedin North for decades, not years, decades. And so we do that with joy in our heart, and I'm pretty sure I can get away with volunteering my club to make that happen.
Thank you.
Robin?
Also, I just want to recognize Ray Cornelius for his sterling work on our financial statements for 2.5 years more and going into another year. Everything is straight up and to order.
Everyone is frozen in time.
And he has done very well with it. And he was awarded Rotarian of the Year for 3 years running, because we put the dates on this plaque.
well, you put it for 2 years, yeah.
So,
What
But Ray, I know we want to say that you put us online with our finances, and I think that's as great a feat as it is for us to be here on Zoom meetings, is to start with QuickBooks, and now you've moved our finances to the DAC, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
In fact, we've gone from the spreadsheet to QuickBooks, and now DACDB.
All under you, so that's great.
But we're online now, and it's a great. I think it's a great system, and we now have internet access.
We used to carry around a box, Mike, to pass it on and try and find the next person who's doing this, and that meant clear across the state to Ray. So.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so I think we're in good shape. Does anybody have anything else to add? Julia?
Nope.
No?
Robin?
Jim?
No, thank you.
Aaron?
Jim is our new membership chair, in case nobody knows that. I'm sorry, no, the one on the phone, that's the one I'm talking about. Oh, that's Bill. I'm so sorry, not Bill. Sorry, you didn't just get recruited, no.
Andrew is the membership.
I am so sorry. Okay.
One second. Andy?
Can you hear me?
Are you there?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's just coming up as a telephone, so
we can hear you.
You're not getting the same attention that I can see a picture. But we all want to thank you as well for stepping up to the plate on membership. Andy and I have had a discussion last week, and he's putting some of the stuff together.
This is Andy here.
We're looking at some interesting ideas for member acquisition, engagement, and retention. All important things to us in an e-club. Trying to keep in touch with our members is an important exercise, because a lot of people don't do well if they're left out on their own. Susan will do fine out on her own. Lynn will do fine on her own as a Rotary person. Ray will do fine on his own as a Rotary person. But when you get some of our other members that are not in so long, then they find it difficult, and we need to be able to hold their hands, and that's one of the things we're addressing. Andy, can you add something?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, we're I had a nice talk with Robin last week, and I'm going to try to have a Zoom meeting. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I'm at a friend's house in Miami, so I think the connection is bad online, so forgive me. I've been making the last couple of Zoom meetings, but we talked about some great ideas about some membership recruitment, bring a friend to Rotary, and perhaps have a competition for, this has to go before the board, for that member who might bring in the most members in our Rotary year. Maybe they will get Paul Harris Fellow points or whatever to add to the collection. So we're talking about that. So we have some good things. I'll have an upcoming meeting with everybody, and we can go over this and get ideas and brainstorm, and we can share it obviously with Robin and Mike and our other team. So we really want to get our E-team really up and running. So that will be great. And Robin, I just have one other comment. Mike, are you there?
I am here.
Okay, Governor, one comment, and I've been talking to Robin about this, and something I really would love to do with your help. I spoke a couple of weeks ago to past District Governor Arthur, who you might know from 6930. That was my last district from Wellington, and I know Arthur very well because I've done a lot of work in the last 8 years or so with RLI as a facilitator throughout, Florida and so forth. What I spoke to him about, and he said, and you're probably in some of this news, but I would love to get your help. I've been talking to Robin. We would love to be one of the first e-clubs to be able to do some kind of RLI online. I think it would be incredible. I brought it up again to the RLI Sunshine Division team, and they said it is in the talks. But if we could get some perhaps support from you or guidance from you, or when you talk, when you have some, obviously some state of Florida governor meetings and so forth, and Sunshine State for RLI board meetings, it's something that I would love to do. Maybe even be a liaison. Perhaps even with the district with you and working on that. As I said, I've been doing many years, and what a great way to bring RLI to everybody and do it online.
Andy, I think that's a great idea. If you could do me a favor and just send me an email to jog my memory. I talk pretty regularly with Randy Rawweiser and Brenda Wen and Jamie Mick, who are all on the team, on the board of RLI. I have to confess to you that I have successfully avoided being an RLI discussion leader, except for the qualifications to do so, until I have finished my year as district governor. But I will always be a huge supporter of RLI and promote it within our district and around the state. So if you'll send me a couple of bullet points about that, I'd really appreciate it, because I do reach out to the other district governors in the state, and I'm sure they would be in support of that as well. One other thought.
Okay, great.
One other thought that relates to that is, Karen, I'd really like to have a conversation with you about seeing whether or not you thought Zoom might be a good venue for our AG calls that we do the last Monday of each month, because since, like Andy, you can get on the phone, you can still be driving in your car and do this thing, but it would be really great to see who's sleeping and who's drinking and who's really paying attention during the meeting. So that would be
or driving. Maybe it'd be better to just stop on the side of the road doing this.
Yeah.
Photo bombed by Jim again.
Yeah. Okay.
But Andy, that's a really good idea, and I'm all for it. I really am.
Okay, great.
One other thing I would like to add to Andy's comments is that we are looking at doing an online survey of our members as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that David has passed some information over to Andy, and he's going to have a look at it and see how we can put together and get the wording and questions to fit the eClub format. Okay, anybody?
I've got one other little thing, if you don't mind, please, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt. It just occurred to me that I found out last week that there's a big event going on in Pensacola from the 14th to the 18th of next June. And that is that the International Yachting Fellowship of Rotarians, of which I'm a member, is going to be having its post-RI convention cruise. And I'm not even sure they're going to leave land in Pensacola right after the International Convention in June. So I'm sure that Commodore Randy will be in touch with you to talk about some things. I went to college in Pensacola, and I love the town a lot.
Yeah, what group is that again? What was the name?
International Yachting Fellowship of Rotarians. Basically, it's a bunch of drunk sailor Rotary.
Fishing?
Fish, yes, for fish.
Oh, fishing, okay.
No, yachting.
Yeah.
Yachting.
Yeah.
Sailing, yachting.
David Croner is in that kind of big.
No.
Yeah,
He's a fisherman.
This is yachting, like sailboats, yachting.
Oh, sailing. Okay, I'm a member of that. The local chapter, they just formed it up here and I joined.
Right, up in Mobile. And the international group is going to be here 2 days, 3 days after convention. Be up there with you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a happy note. On that, thank you everybody for taking time out on a Saturday afternoon. Not easy. I appreciate it. The eClub appreciate it. Thank you very much. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you all.
Everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you, guys.
It's wonderful to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor.
Hans, can you hear me?
Hans, are you